I had the urge to get into, but I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, I'm just not going to do
Hair in your food?
No, okay. God, that would have been an upgrade. It would have been something that was edible in my food.
Fiber?
Would have gave it some seasoning.
Oh, jeez.
Gosh, man. Oh, all right. A St. Johns County mother said she's going to sue the school district over an alleged bullying incident.
Oh,
Mother in St. Johns County planning to file a lawsuit against the local school district following an incident where her daughter was attacked by another student. Video footage captured the moment when Mary Coffey's daughter was reportedly punched while curled up in a ball at a school hallway. She alleges that the school allowed the bullying of her daughter to escalate to this violent incident. However, the St. Johns County School District contends that they responded promptly and appropriately after the event occurred. The mother asserts that her daughter experienced bullying both before and after the February incident. So I guess this was last school year.
Good gracious.
Which resulted in physical injuries and ultimately led to her transferring schools. The school district, on the other hand, claims there were no prior reports of bullying before the incident and that they took immediate action afterwards. Her daughter's 12 years old. I feel terrible for a young 12-year-old. That's awful to go through. It was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder following the attack at Sebastian Middle School. According to Coffey, the incident was not isolated, and her daughter had been subjected to this type of treatment previously. She criticized the school's response, stating that instead of preventing the incident, they merely offered her daughter participation in a guidance counselor group to cope with the situation. Surveillance footage of the incident shows the attack, and additional video captures the sounds of yelling, cheering, and what they said was barking from bystanders. The mother believes the school was aware of the ongoing bullying but failed to take preventative measures. Paul Abatanozzi, the associate superintendent of student support services, stated that there's no evidence supporting the claim that the school was aware of bullying prior to the incident. Just because there's no evidence of it doesn't necessarily mean it. Never mind.
Well, I'm kind of stuck with there too. How was the school going to know that they to prevent this bullying? Did they know anything ahead of time? What would you do? Separate them, put them in a portable? I don't like, you know what I mean?
There's always two sides to every story, and I would like to hear a little bit more from the school side before we start casting stones, because I can tell you, this is a tough situation, and bullying's been around for a long, long time.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually more handled in schools now than it ever was. And I think it's getting better each year. So I like I said, it's a tough situation. I mean, the bullying that's happening right now has always happened. It really, really has.
Well, the online part of it is different. I know we're not talking about the online part of it in this story, but
where it could boil in,
social media side's completely new, and that factor, and is that the school's responsibility of what's happening on the online side? I mean, they can only handle what's happening within their walls. But
maybe if they're aware of some of the online stuff, then that gives them the ability to watch these students when they're together, or separate these students if they possibly can, or figure something out. Obviously, you're right, Troy. Bullying's been around forever. It's something that's going to happen in schools. It's something young people are going to do. Young people tease each other. Young people hit each other.
You know how many times my face has been flushed in a toilet for being an effeminate middle schooler? Like, my dad taught me how to fight, and then when that didn't work, we had to transfer to another school. We didn't sue the school, though. This is a different angle for me. It's a different life, nowadays. So
it definitely is. And there's got to be, with all the technology we have, there hopefully are better measures in place to help prevent these things from happening. Because while these things are going to happen, it shouldn't escalate to extremely violent levels. I mean, there should at least be attempts to prevent things from escalating to extremely violent levels. It should be a safe place for. When you send your kids to a school, to a building all day long, you should expect them to be safe from physical harm.
You would definitely expect them to be safe, but also like, your dad took certain measures to try and keep you as safe as possible.
Yep.
And the other thing is the parents of these strong kids need to tell them, hey, you have to protect these other kids. I mean, that is the world that you're about to go into.
True, yeah, that's a good point.
Your job is to protect, people that either don't have the capabilities of protecting themselves or don't have the personalities that can protect themselves. And those strong kids, and they're there. Those kids exist. There's amazing kids. You worked at Inc. You got to see some amazing, amazing kids.
Yeah.
Those kids are there. And we got to give those kids the freedom to say, hey, don't do that.
Right.
And those are the kids that are respected, and it'll back off those bad kids. Because the bad kids, a lot of times when they're bullying, they're trying to get that attention to help their own self-esteem.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's like
Street
that's
cred.
what they have to do to make themselves feel confident. The really good kids already have that confidence, already are a step above these bullies. And those are the ones that have to keep the bullies in line. Parents and teachers really can't do it. It's got to happen at the kids' level. So, I mean,
after an incident happens, though, what is the school's responsibility in response? And they said they put them in group counseling.
Well, the response, what I found most effective, and Ricky was in the gym with me a lot of times when he was younger. What I did is I went to the good kids and said, hey, you're responsible for that guy.
It's a smart idea.
And it worked. It worked for me. We didn't have situations like this in my gym. We just didn't. And it was because the kids monitored themselves. And that's something the teachers really got to understand and go, hey, go to your strong kids to help protect the other kids.
Yeah. Justin Carter, perfect. He should be in middle school and protecting kids. Justin, I nominate you as the middle school czar of security.
So, I mean,
no. And, that's a tough thing, too, because we're in such a sue-happy world today. And, you can also see teachers not wanting to put that responsibility on another student to say, hey, you need to fight off these other kids who are fighting the weak kids. Liability falls on the teacher if the strong student beats up a bully and hurts a bully.
Yeah.
But you don't have to fight him. That's the whole point, is you don't have to fight him. If this kid, and granted, I've worked with a lot of tough kids. The kids I took care of were usually in lower income, and I worked with a lot of tough kids. But you don't have to fight him. That kid just has to say, hey, that's not cool. You don't even have to do that. And you know what? Because people respect that kid that's at this level more than they respect the bully, they're going to watch this kid instead of this kid. And it just diverts that attention away from him. And he's like, okay, if I do this, no, I'm going to lose all my cred. It steals the power from the bully. So,
gotcha. Yeah.
But like I said,
it's like a bully mentor program.
And I'm speaking from a guy who hasn't worked with kids in 20 years.
But this makes a complete sense.
Yeah. It
who's
works.
influencing those kids? That's where you're getting to the root
works. So, these kids, and it's gotta have a conversation, and it's just a conversation. Like, hey, we're going to empower you to manage yourselves a little bit. So,
and you've seen it work.
Parents got it. I've seen it work, the kid, I know I have some adult that have children out there that are watching and stuff like that. They can back up what happened in our gym. Because I was there with 70 kids at one point by myself.
And I'm sure kids were in your face too. It wasn't all hunky-dory for you.
Never
in your face.
Never.
They always respected Mr. Troy.
There was never a kid that challenged me.
That's awesome.
So, and that was 25 years of working in it, and I never had a kid challenge me like that. So,
these days, kids will challenge you.
It starts with the beginning of that relationship. You allowed that to happen. Ricky, when you were 12, you ever think about challenging me?
No.
Okay.
I knew Rick when he was 12. Rick would come back to the park all the time and say, I'm about to whoop Counselor Troy's ass tomorrow. I'm going to do it. I swear, one of these days.
You know what happened when he got to the gym? Not a dang thing.
Yes, sir, Mr. Troy.
I'm tucking in my shirt now.
Yeah, no, I think those are really good suggestions. I could see that working. But obviously, you're dealing with young kids, too, so you can't totally count on the mentality of young kids to always do the right thing.
Yeah, no, and it's challenging, and these things are still going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're still going to happen. So like I said, the social media and the bullying that happens on social media, it happens as adults. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that hide behind their keyboard, and it happens as adults.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It definitely does. So, I guess she is, the mother is seeking funds for therapy and aims to protect other students through the lawsuit. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I'm interested now.
It's a very expensive thing to do.
Interesting story.
Yeah, man. But we hope the little girl's okay.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the story. Because it is tough. It's tough to be that age, man. It's really, really tough. It's tough to deal with all those kids at that age, and nothing ever goes right completely. All right. St. Johns County offering a free alert system to combat rising property fraud.